Well, this is a video I didn't plan to make today, but I just went out for a walk. Kind of sweaty. I was wearing a hat and went for quite a while. But I was walking up the driveway and the garage door was open. We usually have our garage door closed, and I know I didn't leave it open. And I thought, well, maybe Nancy left and went somewhere. And then I saw both cars in here, and as I got farther, I saw the back door of the garage open. And I thought, oh no. I left my rock saw going, and I told Nancy if she hears any bad noises to run out and turn it off, which usually there's not problems with it. However, just about, I don't know, a month or two ago, maybe it's a little longer than that, but I burned up a motor, got a rock jammed in there, and the motor burned up, stunk up the whole garage. So I just replaced that, and this is the same saw. I have two saws. It's my Lortone ST10, and so you can see there's what used to be a belt right there. And inside here, it looks like, that wasn't a great rock, but I do rocks like that quite often, but I have a flat bottom on it and then a pointy top. So there just wasn't enough for it to grab onto, and it turned in the inside there. You can see how, I hope you can see how warped the blade is. I probably need a new blade, definitely need a new belt. Hopefully the motor's okay. That's a pretty cheap blade that's on there, so and I have another one, so I'm not really too concerned about that. The belt's not going to be too bad, but the motor's, I don't know what I paid for that thing, like 140 bucks or something, so I hope I don't have to replace that again so soon. I've only cut a couple rocks since then. So, I don't know what to tell you except that when you have a rock saw, there are hazards and you have to learn how to fix things. I'm not super mechanically inclined, but I've learned how to do quite a few things on a rock saw. So I'm going to see if I can hold this with one hand and pull that out of there. There's a lever down here you pull up to move the blade back, and sometimes it gets stuck on this saw anyhow. I can't even move it. Yeah, that's going to take more hands than one, I think. Alright, I'm going to turn this off, and I'll come back and tell you what the damage was. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say. When I was looking for something to replace my motor with, I posted something. I had an old motor I was trying to fix, and I never could. I posted something on the rock tumbling hobby forums, and there's some people there that have a whole lot more experience than I do. And somebody told me, make sure your belt's as loose as it can be and still turn the blade. That way, if a rock jams in there, you'll ruin your belt and not the motor. And when Nancy came out to turn this off, it was still running. So I think that's a sign that the motor's probably okay. And it does have thermal protection on it, which is another reason I bought this motor instead of trying to use the really old one I had from something else. So let's, I'm going to turn the camera off and see if I can get this rock out of here. And I guess I'll come back on and say something, but I don't know what I'm going to say. I'll tell you if the blade's broken or not. All right, here we go. All right, so I have the rock out of there. I should have just left the camera running, because as soon as I turned the camera off, I thought all I really need to do is loosen this up, let the pressure off the rock, and as soon as I did that, the rock spun. I haven't turned the blade yet to see if it's warped or not. I'm going to try that now. So let's see if I can get out of the light and do this. Whoops, let's look at this first, because I got to move it out of the way. That's the aftermath of the belt. Holy cow. That's horrible. So, I think I'll need a new belt. And I think the pulleys will probably be okay. Just need to clean them up a little bit. Okay, let's try to turn this again. Alright, so there's the blade. So I'm just sighting down it with you and hoping that it doesn't wobble too much. Oops. Something just hit back there. I think there's a little bump right there. It's definitely warped. I don't know if it's warped too much or not. I think I'm probably better. Yeah, it's rubbing back there. Definitely need a new blade. Like I said, I think I have the same kind of blade. I bought two of them at the time I bought them. I got one in the basement, so that'll be easy enough to fix. So, I guess the moral of the story is make sure you really try to twist your rock in the vise well. Make sure that it doesn't move at all. I was filming a video when I did this, and I might have just tested it with one hand. Usually I put two hands on it and just put a little muscle into it and try to twist it. And if it twists, I put it in again. You can also put little wedges. I think I have one in my other saw. little wedges in to wedge the rocks. Here's a wedge that I sometimes use. Obviously I was cutting something red in here. I think it was banded iron or something. But you can put wedges in to make your rock stay in there a little bit better, and I didn't do that on this one. That wasn't nearly as bad as it initially seemed. I think I got everything fixed here. Got everything cleaned up over there. I've got my rock repositioned, and I used both hands this time to make sure it was in there securely. Well, when I say both hands, I put a hand on the left and the right side, and I just try to twist the rock, and it didn't twist. So I'm going to take a cut here. Hopefully this works. Everything sounds good. I can see oil splashing on the plastic cover there, so I know the blade's spinning. And it sounds like the rock's going to start getting cut. All right, problem solved.